Hi there, this is Alain and welcome to Composer Ear Training. In this course, you're going to learn diatonic ear training, which means using major and minor scales so that you can learn to write by ear without needing to play it or sing it first. You're going to improve your ability to hear also what's inside your mind. So although this course benefits anyone that wants to improve their ear, it really is targeted specifically to those who want to write by ear. This is very targeted for composers. On this page, you can download your daily practice plan, which has a very specific and unique set of exercises that are designed for composers who want to learn to write by ear. These exercises combine in a very powerful way the idea of solfège or hierarchy in your singing, which I'll explain in a second, intervals, intervallic color, harmonic colors, ways of listening and hearing, playing things in your head, and very specific steps that end up with you composing by ear at the end of every single lesson. Now, this course, being an ear training course, will involve some singing, and we're going to be using two approaches here. The US letter names, the C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, and the fixed do solfège instead of movable do. So that is these. There's a few versions depending on where you come from. So French would be do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si, do. And if you're English speaking, you probably will say do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, or do, re, mi, fa, sol instead of sol. So any of those are good. Just do what you're comfortable with. I'll be moving freely between those during the lessons. Now with fixed do solfège, we're not going to sing accidental. So that means there's no sharp, no flat, no altering of the do. It's always do, regardless if it's sharp or flat. At the center of this course with solfège is the feeling of hierarchy, of how all the pitches within a scale relate to each other. So what is hierarchy? Well, that can actually be very simply demonstrated with a major scale. So let me play you the C major scale. So if I play these first 7 notes and stop on the leading tone, that leading tone wants to take you back to the tonic. So if we're using solfège, that'd be C and do. So the leading tone is a tendency tone that leads to do. That's its hierarchy. That's its relationship to the tonic. So in a nutshell, that's what hierarchy is. It's the relationship of each note, the tendency that they have towards a resolution, and how they're placed in that way within that scale. But don't worry about that now. We're going to be doing this very simply in small steps, and you'll get the hang of it from the very first lesson. Now, as I said, we're going to be singing, and I'd like to apologize for that right away, because you're going to hear me sing, and I'm not a singer, so it's a bit rough, and my vocal cords, I realized, don't follow where I want them to go. But the way I look at it is that it shows you that you don't have to be a good singer for your ear training, like not at all, as you'll see. This course was designed for students of various abilities, from complete beginner to more advanced students who would like to improve their ear training. So if you're a complete beginner, just focus on the hierarchy and maybe do a little bit of grouping with the intervals and chords and melodic groups. But don't do any of the optional exercise like harmonic coloring or more than that. This is all laid out during the course, but this is just to point out that you don't have to do everything right away. You can take this course multiple times. First, start simple, go to the level you're comfortable with as I lay out during the lessons, and then take the course again. And then add those extra elements gradually. And as I always say in every ScoreClub courses, don't focus on writing great music. This is not about writing great music, it's about developing your ability to hear and write what you hear. But it's okay to have fun and try to write great things once in a while. But remember, this is about practice. And to that end, I will also suggest that if you're taking any other ScoreClub course, like the Essential Composer Training or Memorable Melodies or any of those, apply what you're learning here right away and apply the skills you learn in those other courses to what you're doing in this course. I'm pointing that out because it happens a lot that people will practice their ear training and just leave it as an ear training exercise and not apply it to their day-to-day writing. So if you combine it with other courses that are all designed to increase your skills and your understanding and your methodology, you'll develop that approach. You'll use it in the context of writing. So in other words, don't just do ear training on its own and hope it's going to get into your writing. You have to apply it to your writing and not just in a single isolated context. And just a little side note here is that the course, although it's focused on diatonic writing, uses all the tools you'll need and the approach to have modal ear training and chromatic ear training. And that was my little introduction to composer ear training. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the first lesson.